We're going now?
Hi, everybody. Welcome out to the Tryhard Podcast number 84. Last week we were wrong, and that is not unusual.
I thought it was 83 last week.
Well, we are now 84 this week. I
right,
believe.
so we were right last
yes,
week.
I believe we said 84 at one point, but that's okay.
Oh, look at
it
him
was
go.
pointed out in the chat. Hello,
Look at
everybody.
them
What's
eyes.
going on? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you are new to Tryhard, first off, great. Second, please subscribe.
This
to the
happens
channel.
every week.
We always open up with bull and juggling.
Yeah.
See, there it is right there, nonstop action.
Look at those glasses.
Look
this
at him
face.
go. He is,
Yeah, no
he is
glasses.
unlassicked up. He's ready to go.
I am LASIKed
How'd it go?
Mm-hmm.
up and passing it to you, Craig. Here we go.
Sweet, thanks. Good pass.
Yeah, LASIKed up. I'm good.
How'd it go? They cut your eyeball open.
Yeah, it was like John told me that the pain afterwards was going to be like a 9 out of 10,
Yeah.
like a 1 or a 2.
John's a little wuss.
I don't know if John's ever experienced pain before. You know how John is. He is super strong and super kung fu. So maybe he's never been hurt
Sure, I understand that.
before, but it was a quick recovery.
Did you feel
and-
like Cyclops from the X-Men where you could just,
No,
shoot lasers?
I actually feel like Cyclops is gazing into my eyes
Oh.
right now, just because like the
lights.
lights and like we were streaming last night,
Mhm.
and my eyes started hurting pretty bad.
I mean, you can wear sunglasses when you stream.
Yeah,
There's a lot
not
of
used to
streamers
that.
do that.
Huh?
You're not used to. You can go Dr. Disrespect on it and just wear
Yeah.
sunglasses and nobody can see your eyes.
No,
Yeah.
I'm actually reaching out to Felix Gray to get us another.
You go to
hookup.
felixgray.com/tryhard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? Hey, speaking of that,
What's up?
this week's episode is brought to you by our friends at Omaha Steaks, brand new sponsor this week, so make sure you support them, as well as our friends at Dollar Shave Club. So we'll be talking more about them in just
Oh,
a little
boy.
bit. So once
Yay.
again, they support us, so please support them. Okay, so a busy week this week. Lots of
Yeah.
stuff going on.
So let's start with the Pokemans.
Yeah.
Which
go.
Pokemans?
Whoa.
We were just watching the trailer and we realized that the trailer sounds exactly like the Labo trailer.
Yeah.
It's just
Yes,
like
yes.
whoa.
Yeah,
It's you know, it's just one
You
of
know, it's
those
very
ones.
childlike and super charming. and
whimsical,
stuff.
yeah.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if you could see, but I was in a coma while I was watching that.
You were very excited.
I was
about it.
immobilized.
Mhm.
Yeah. My
Yes.
love.
I saw some tweets. There were some people that were so emotional. I muted them for life,
Uh-huh.
forever, and just never want to see
like, come
anything they
on.
fucking tweet again. 'Cause it was
Sure, sure.
just shut the fuck up.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's great that you're excited.
Yeah.
You should not be emotional and crying.
No,
Okay.
I'm not that much.
But yeah, look cool.
It's a remaster of Yellow.
Oh, is
like
it?
Yeah.
It's definitely it's just
Yeah.
Pokemon Yellow.
Okay.
Which is fine.
That's like a fan favorite though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because they
of
were.
course.
It was blue.
It's-
They made red and blue, and then
And
they
then
made
yellow,
yellow.
which
with
is
Pikachu
20-year
on it.
anniversary. Actually.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
it all lines up pretty good.
On
Yeah.
Switch.
So it's
On the
not just
Switch.
it's not just a remaster. Like it's a new like they've added tons of new game mechanics to it.
Like,
Yeah,
and you need to
Yeah,
think about
changed
this too. Like, there's not been a real Pokemon console game really ever.
Yeah.
Not traditional.
Pokemon
no.
Yeah.
Stadium.
That wasn't traditional.
no,
Pokemon.
no,
that was a
that's not
traditional
a
one.
Pokemon game.
That
That's
doesn't
a
matter.
spin-off.
So-
Pokken Tournament, let's be honest, is a game of shite.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's-
It is what it is. But it's not a tradition. It's not like
Exactly.
a mainstay.
Right.
So,
Traditional Pokemon games have always been portable games.
and the fact that
Yeah.
they've announced 4 total games.
True.
Because they had the
These two are coming out.
They had the 2 that came out, the mobile game that they just released.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have the actual mainstay, the real one in 2019.
Is the
Right.
real one the Pokemon Yellow game?
No.
No. That one's coming out. Like
When's the
when
Pokemon
people
Yellow
say,
remaster
When
coming
people
out?
say real,
October, November this fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
When people say real, that's just like a new edition, like a new game on a new.
Yeah,
island
yeah,
or
I know what
whatever.
you mean.
Yeah.
But I would not count the remaster
You know-
as a real
No.
Pokemon
I know
game.
all the games have been portable, all the notable good ones. Why have they not done anything on mobile like that?
They did
Well, they did
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon
Well,
Go.
no, they
Huge.
did a lot of great mobile games, but they haven't done like a regular Pokemon game.
Yeah,
like
but
they could really just
Yeah.
put it on the store,
And to be fair,
charge
I've
$40
played-
for it or
Yeah.
$60, and
Jace.
it probably top the charts.
they did it.
Pokemon
Go.
No, that's
Yeah.
not what he's saying.
No,
Pokemon-
I get it.
A real game like
Did you-
Fire Red.
Have you looked at I don't know if you've seen this chart that was floating around the internet. Have you seen the charts of revenue of the Pokemon company?
since Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Pokemon
Chase
Go
is
came
down
out.
$200, $300.
No.
Chase is down.
No.
Yeah, I did.
It's like from 1998 up
yeah.
until last year was like 5 million, 6 million, 10 million, 10 million,
Right.
12 million, 15 million, 8 million, 10 million, 12 million.
Uh-huh.
Pokemon Go, $80 million
Yeah.
next year. And then in 2018, it's like
Do they
it's
run
60
ads on Pokemon Go?
No.
No, it's all
It's all off
microtransactions.
buying.
Microtransactions.
What is the microtransactions with Pokemon Go?
More balls. You can get like incubators to hatch eggs faster, stuff like that.
Potions and stuff like that. Just like when you run, and to be fair, you like again, it's freemium, so you never need to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you go to a Pokestop or whatever. I will say they don't do direct ads, but now on Pokemon Go they have like
Sponsored locations.
right. So the hotspots just used to be like,
Yeah.
oh, this
fountains
park bench
and-
or this fountain.
Yeah.
Now it's like the Boost Mobile store or like a Starbucks has like a Pokemon Go.
Good. There should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it should
Absolutely, they should.
And it's not like in your face. It's just like if you go here, there's stuff for you to get.
I think
So-
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like you don't have to buy anything at these stores. It's just-
Pokemon
Yeah.
Go is consistently one of the top grossers in the App Store still.
Yeah.
It's been out for 2 years.
I still use it when I work out. When I go like running and stuff,
Oh,
I
yeah.
still
'Cause
have
you
it
can-
on.
yeah,
I
you can
bought
do
the
the running.
wristband thing. I can just like hit it and like I
like
get
the-
home like cool. I made progress.
Do you remember? I remember. I saw a tweet this morning that was like, "Oh man, it's awesome. This will be what wakes the Pokemon Go community back up again."
Yeah.
And I'm like, did it really fall asleep, or did they just figure out ways
A
to
little
play it
bit.
with?
It's like
a
it fell
little bit.
asleep because like it used to be something everybody played,
Yeah.
but
Like,
now it's
people
just
that
the
never played
hardcore people
Pokemon.
play it. The people who spend money, they're still playing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but like I remember the first weekend of Pokemon Go, you go to Denton Square and
Oh,
like it was
yeah,
packed.
populated.
People were
Oh,
picnicking
Addison
and stuff.
Circle Park.
And
Yeah.
like
Ooh.
I remember people in the office were like, back at Security Tech, they were like, "This is a revolution, it changed gaming forever." And I was like, people are gonna do this for like one more fucking week,
Yeah.
and then they're all gonna
It
go
lasted
away.
like that
No
summer.
way, man! No,
Yeah.
we're gonna be doing this forever. Like, no.
It lasted that summer, pretty
Yeah,
much, for like
yeah.
the people that don't play Pokemon.
Yeah. Let's
And
be
then-
real.
yeah.
Like everyone on Denton Square collected Pokemon. It lasted that weekend.
No,
Like-
No,
I've
I
gone
went every
back
weekend
this
to like
weekend,
Addison
yeah.
Circle Park with friends, and it was packed for like a solid 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I get what you're saying.
And the
It
bars
was
stuff, too.
It was a trend. It
Yeah,
was,
it was
was an
definitely a trend.
anomaly. It's something that, it's what Fortnite is seeing right
Well-
now, and that Fortnite's lasting way longer than Pokemon Go did.
It's not just
you
the
know.
trend. Like, it's not just Pokemon because like it helps everything so much. Like the
that's why
bars
it
and
made
stuff
me,
around there were packed too. People are just going out.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's
it made
great.
me. That's why it made me mad because I was like, oh wow, look at what gaming's gonna do, and everybody's gonna forget about this, and it's gonna get old.
Then
to
they're gonna
people
go
in a
back
week.
to screens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's exciting to see. I'm interested.
And anyways, the new Pokemon Let's Go games, you can transfer Pokemon from your phone to the game.
See, that's cool.
So that's a good way to like get
Revamp it.
people, back into the phone
Yeah.
game if they have a Switch.
more importantly, kids.
Be like, oh, I
Yeah,
had
for
that
sure.
really good Pokemon on my Pokemon
my
Go
phone.
app.
Yeah.
Let me re-download it real fast.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see kind of what the sales numbers are after that announcement, to see kind of how many more people are downloading or replaying Pokemon Go after seeing
See,
that
I
trailer.
re-downloaded it like a week ago.
I
Yeah.
never deleted it.
Yeah.
yeah.
You still do it when you work out. It's good. So
Yeah.
So Pokemon Go is it's weird because Pokemon is, you can be so emotional about Pokemon,
It
but
gets,
at the
it
same
gets me so
time,
emotional.
yeah, well, it's
It is.
You know, for you-
it's a childhood thing.
yeah, for you it's your childhood. For me, like
Right.
Street Fighter's my childhood,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
sure.
when the 30th collection was, I'm like, yay, and then I played it for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah.
the one thing I've learned about when I was playing Street Fighter is that it's way fun with friends. It's not fun to play without anybody else.
Yeah, well, because it's a fighting game.
Yeah.
Like it's based on someone like being your competition.
Oh, sure.
So like yeah.
But some people like sit down, they train, and they spend
Right,
hours
yeah.
and hours and hours
Yeah, of
working on
course.
combos, and like I don't know, that'll never be me. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But-
And inherently, that discludes you from every other fighting game that will ever come out until the end of time.
Of course, because
unfortunately.
you're so focused on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, hey, so here's the thing. Before we get too far into this episode, I want to make sure we talk about our new sponsor real quick, okay? Because this is a new sponsor this week, and I'm actually really excited about this because it's an amazing deal. So Omaha Steaks is a sponsor of this week's Try Hard, and Omaha Steaks. Look, Father's Day is coming up, right? And as a dad, I'll tell you one thing. As a dude, chances are, even not as a dude, as a person, you know what we like to do? We like to heat things up over a fire. Grilling's on the way. We all love to heat things up. And at Father's Day, it's time to get out and get going and cook some meat, right? I did it this weekend. Omaha Steaks sent us this pack, and it was awesome. I cooked a couple steaks on the grill for my family, and you know what? They ate it up and they loved it. I'll be straight up honest. I overcooked it.
Yeah.
And you know what? My wife and mother-in-law said it's still tender. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. So it's great. So you got Father's Day coming up, and they got an amazing deal. Like this is top tier. Go to omahasteaks.com, type in Try Hard in the search bar, and you get this Omaha Steaks Father's Day package, which includes, listen to this.
Stop. Just look. Just listen to this. Okay?
Yeah, this is
Pay
insane.
attention. Tell him, Craig.
Okay.
Ah.
So, listen to this. So for $49.99, you get 2 tender filet mignons, 2 beefy top sirloins, 4 chicken fried steaks.
Stop. Hang on. Look, I work at Saltgrass Steakhouse.
You did.
for like 4 years.
Yeah.
I still work there.
Yeah.
On the side. But ask me how much a filet mignon costs.
How much a filet
A
mignon cost?
6-ounce filet mignon at Saltgrass
gotta be
Steakhouse
like
costs
$40.
$29.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're already up. So you got the filet mignons, you got the beefy top sirloins, you got the 4 chicken fried steaks, you got 2 boneless pork chops, 4 all beef Omaha steak burgers, 4 jumbo franks. It keeps going. 12 ounces of all beef meatballs, 1 pound of steakhouse fries, 4 caramel apple tarts, which are delicious, by the way. 1 Omaha steak seasoned packet, plus you get 4 more grill-ready Omaha steak burgers free with the purchase. Once again, limited time package for Father's Day, so get it now for $49.99.
It's
Like,
a
oh
lot of
my
meat.
gosh!
Like,
Go to
forget-
omahasteaks.com/tryhard.
So much meat.
That's
And-
like an apocalypse pack
sorry,
of like,
good.
hey, need meat for the rest of your life? Here
Well,
you go.
Let me make sure I can get that right. omahasteaks.com. In the search bar, search Tryhard. That is one word. Tryhard, one word. TRYHARD. In the search bar to add the Father's Day package to your cart. This offer will end soon. Once you go to omahasteaks.com, type Tryhard in the search bar to grab your dad and fire up the grill. It's an amazing deal. Seriously, like it's crazy. Even if you are a vegetarian, even if you are vegan, guess what? Your family will love it. Like straight up. Speaking from experience, it's awesome.
I didn't even cook mine on the grill. I cook them in a pan because I don't own a grill.
Bingo. There you
Come
go.
Father's
Awesome.
Day, it's like I want to pay $50 for meat for like 2
Like,
months.
Just
yeah,
stock up,
it's
guys.
crazy. They send it in this like I know the ad read's done, but still like
It's good meat.
It like
They send it in a cooler.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read this today and I was like, holy crap! Like this is
so much
that's an
meat.
amazing deal.
Our
That's-
Craig was over there being
landlord-
like, oh, I'm sorry. It was. I thought it cost like 4 times as much.
well, it's 78% off.
Yeah.
78% off.
Special
So
deal.
No,
like,
our
holy moly.
landlord was like, "Hey guys, you got this giant meat cooler outside your door. You should probably put it inside." I was like, "Okay, must be."
It was
Omaha
still
Steaks."
frozen. It was probably there for a while.
Yeah.
so like, don't worry about it going
Oh,
bad.
it
it
was.
ain't
It was
going
good.
to.
It was
It's like an
good, yeah.
apocalypse pack. Did you hear about the who's the televangelist person?
I did. Who wanted
Joel
to?
Who's making
Osteen.
the no, not Joel Osteen. It's the older guy who was in prison for fraud, and then he got out. He was based in California. I forgot his name, but he's selling the giant like apocalypse meal packs
Oh, I haven't seen these.
that are like
Okay, well
huge.
tell me about it.
Yeah,
What
they're
is
like
it?
huge like tubs. They did it on the the Rhett and Link show, the Good
Yeah,
Mythical
yeah.
Morning. I think they
Oh,
reviewed
good,
some of the
good,
food on there.
Mythical
Good
Morning.
Mythical Morning.
Yeah,
yeah. They reviewed some of them on there, and but yeah, this dude's just selling like giant tubs of food that are supposed to last for like 25 years,
Uh-huh.
but it just all tastes like shit.
Really?
Like, it's
Do they do
awful,
taste
yeah.
testing on
Yeah.
Good Mythical Morning?
Yeah, but man, like
We should
he's
get one.
still like
How much are they?
Let's get one.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't say it, but
Well, let's
we
straight
should
up.
get one. Like,
Hold
yeah,
on.
look it up.
No, I just looked up Apocalypse Meal Kit,
Yeah,
and I found one online. Costco
Costco
is
makes
selling
it?
one.
What's it called?
It's the.
What?
I
Does
guess
it say Apocalypse Meal Kit?
it says. It says Doomsday Food Kit.
No, it doesn't. You fucking lying.
I don't.
At Costco?
Listen, the Costco this is the headline. Costco's $6,000 Doomsday Food Kit only gets your family through year 1 of the apocalypse, which is actually $6,000 for food.
Oh, for a whole
For a
year?
whole
Not-
year,
not
that's
bad.
pretty incredible. What are you doing?
Wait,
He's lying.
no, I
No,
don't
I'm not.
think so.
Look at this. Look, it's right there. Right there. Look at it. That's all I told you. It's right there.
$6,000.
I don't think
Yeah.
I spent $6,000 for a year.
cans.
Oh, I should mention though
No,
with
Google
the
the televangelist.
yeah with the televangelist
I tried.
one,
That's what I found.
you have to have a working fridge and an oven and a supply of water to make any of the foods in it,
Yeah, sure.
which is not apocalypse ready. Like it
Yeah.
needs to be like MREs
Yeah.
basically.
Did I ever tell you
But-
about my neighbor, my Y2K neighbor?
No, please tell me.
Did
Oh,
they build a
man.
bunker?
Like it was happening.
Yeah, Y2K was happening.
Y2K, it was
Yeah.
over.
I mean,
It
it
was
was a
over.
year.
Okay.
What was the myth? Like that technology was taking over? The
No,
government
no.
gonna
It
use
was.
technology
The
to
idea
take
was
over?
very simple. The idea was that when computers were made, They couldn't in the year
have an
year
integer.
date. They weren't smart enough, or they didn't have the
Right.
way to put an extra zero at the end to
Right,
where
right.
the 1999 would roll over to 2000. It would cause everything to crash, all the information to go everywhere. It was.
What an idiotic thought.
I know.
Like,
It's
But-
like what happens if you max out the gas pump and it rolls back to zero? You
Yeah,
get free gas.
Free gas.
It's like and then 6 years later the iPhone came out.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
like-
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like technology, right? So tell us about your.
No, so I have a neighbor. I have a neighbor now. She's super nice and like ultra selfless, but very. So let's talk about religion for just a second. It is possible to become confused. Okay, I think we can all agree.
Sure.
How so?
In that she kind of picked and chose her Hanukkah candles with her Mormon beliefs and her
So she
Jehovah's
just like
Witness.
multi-religional.
She like cherry picks hardcore. is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
she
Yeah.
kind of cherry picked. She was like, we're not going to work on the Sabbath day, but we have Hanukkah candles. And she had, a lot
Okay.
of traditionals just picked from different kinds of. And I was experiencing this because one of my best friends was Jehovah's Witness, one of my best friends was Baptist, one of my best friends was a Mormon, and then I went to like a Methodist church sometimes.
Now, to be clear, I want to say that most religions have done this because if you were to follow the letter of the law with all
Right,
religions,
you can't.
the world would suck.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
of course. That's something I learned as an English major was like for me personally the craziness that like people hand wrote copies of the Bible
Right,
yeah.
long ago. How many times have you like typed ass instead of and on your keyboards
Or
and stuff?
duck instead of fuck.
Or even like.
Or just been tired and been like,
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm Christian, but there's even verses in the Bible that allude to killing girls who are on their period.
yeah.
So, like, there's obviously things we don't follow
totally,
that's
totally.
in, like, the Old Testament and
but
stuff.
it was kind of like almost like the most interesting practices from most from religions. She would adopt them, and
Just have, like, a safe spot in heaven no matter who was right.
I don't know if it's like that, but I think like well yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
like
so.
it's like if I practice all, I'm good with everything. So
Well, so you got this
so
neighbor.
she was very I wouldn't say extreme, but very much a believer in everything.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at is that like Y2K was happening, and she talked my parents into it that it was happening. She was a good neighbor. She takes care of my mom right now. She actually helps with my mom a lot, like unpaid and stuff. She just like comes over and helps my
that's
mom.
nice.
So she's super sweet and awesome. But I got another story to follow up after this. But yeah, so like
Do
she
you want to know why she's helping your mom?
huh?
You want to know why she's helping your mom?
In the eyes of God,
No.
rock on.
Because she knows that God,
What,
your
cut it.
mother,
Is
when-
God
whenever whenever the good Lord decides to take her,
Mhm.
this young lady's gonna want her body.
For what? Whoa, for what?
To hollow her out and wear her as a skin cocoon.
Like and gain it.
For clothes.
She's gonna take my mother's body and put her skin around her,
God.
and then
So
just
you gotta
come
make a
out 10
skin
years
suit.
later as a young virgin.
As tradition says.
Yeah, as tradition says. No, but like she taught us about like drying all these foods. She had all the cans. She had and like it was cool because when I watched the Chinese New Year come because Chinese New Year comes before U.S.
American,
New
yeah,
Year,
yeah.
and then I remember being a kid and being like, wait a minute. Is it the Chinese one where Y2K kills us all, or is it the American?
Chinese New Year comes 2 months after.
The American one. The American
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
will do
okay.
it.
And so like China's like, yay! And I'm like, wait, does the world go by China's clock? Because like, which midnight is the one that kills us? And
Time zones.
Was Y2K only an American threat?
No, it was thought of as a worldwide. It was going to bring down the worldwide economy.
But was it
Yeah.
America that thought it would bring down the worldwide economy?
I mean, probably a little people from everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was world devastation.
You know what
Like,
I would
it
love to
was-
see? I would.
What?
I would. I would love
ahead,
to
go
see
ahead.
video
Yeah.
in 1999, like December,
People freaking out.
like on December 17th, when the computer engineers are like, and they click this little drop down that's like, add fourth box for integers, and then
Well,
like,
it wasn't
They've already had 4
it-
integers.
The big thing,
Yeah.
from what I recall, was it wasn't necessarily like your home computers. It was like banking.
right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
financial systems.
Yeah, it
and,
was
like,
all
security
that
systems,
stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which, yeah, it would be awesome to go back. Like that would be funny to go back and look at the nostalgia of like the Y2K hysteria and all that
Just
stuff.
watch people on New Year's Day, 1989.
Yeah.
The night before.
well,
Sorry,
you know,
New
I'm
Year's Eve.
talking like the news broadcasts.
Yeah, absolutely.
In like
Right.
in like September, October, like, hey guys, the world's gonna end. We don't know.
So the thought was that it goes to 2000.
Hold on. I want to make
And
sure.
there's
I want to make sure I
not-
get
There's
this
just
right.
errors in every like computer
But
system.
what
with all
causes the error?
Well, let's check it out. This
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah,
So I have no like. Obviously, I was 4 at the time.
Yeah,
So I had no idea what's happening.
See, if you're
but,
4, I was.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I was like 11.
This is
12.
this is from the internet source of all things information, Wikipedia.
Okay, cool.
The year 2000 problem, also known as the Y2K problem, the Millennium Bug, the Y2K bug, or Y2K, is a class of computer bugs related to the formatting and storage of calendar data for dates beginning in the year 2000. Problems were anticipated and arose because many programs represented 4-digit years with only the final 2 digits, making the year 2000 indistinguishable from 1900. The assumption of the 20th century date is such programs could cause various errors, such as incorrect display of dates and the inaccurate ordering of. Just reading this, I'm like, God, we're so fucking dumb.
It is, yeah, I mean, it's
You're like,
wow.
Could you
God.
imagine showing Google Sheets to these people?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's just
what's a cloud?
so the confusing with the year 1900 is like
We didn't
there's
have
no
computer
computer
systems for that.
I
Like,
read in the
yeah.
year 1900.
All right.
Oh,
That's funny. In 1997, the British Standards Institute developed Standard B, whatever it is, defining the year 2000 conformity requirements as 4 rules. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It defined 2 problems that may exist in many computer programs. First, the practice of representing the year with 2 digits became problematic, with logic errors arising upon rollover from 1999 to 2000. This had caused some blah, 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 blah. Companies and organizations worldwide checked, fixed, and upgraded their computer systems to adding the anticipated problem. Very few computers failures were reported when the clocks rolled over to 2000.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
had
but
a
like it must have been a good year for IT guys. Like, they
No
must have got
joke,
a huge
man.
Oh,
raise
yeah.
about that time.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you take care of us.
like
yeah.
think
Could you
about-
imagine the bill?
yeah.
Just telling ignorant ass banks like, yeah, he did the thing. I stopped Y2K from happening. That'll be $35,000.
Yeah, it's like, hey, all your
small
data
price
is
to
going to
pay.
be secure from here on out. And like,
Right.
if it's not, fuck them. You already got their money. It's like,
Before
you know?
the bank went down, yeah.
Like, we're going to do this
Your
only
bank
for
account
$500,000.
before your bank account
My
closed.
thought is, who the fuck is gonna get confused with 1900? Like, oh shit, I forgot it's 100 years
Parker,
later.
inflation.
Parker, once again, I want you to realize where you're living right
Yeah.
now in the technology that we have. Once again, you have computers in your pockets
Of
right
course,
now that
yeah,
are,
it's
that are
right here.
stronger than anything that was ever even thought about being
Yeah.
conceived in 1999, right?
Yeah.
And the sheer, like, the internet was this thing that you had to dial into.
I
in
remember
1999,
dial-up,
right?
Craig.
Okay, I just want to point this out, right? It wasn't this thing that was always connected.
No,
right?
you
You're
had
not
to, and
always
someone
there.
couldn't be on the fucking phone while you were trying to get on AOL.
Like the idea of what we're like, this sentence that I'm saying right now
Yeah.
has more data in it than any internet video or GIF from the year.
Like
Yeah.
an entire processor
Yes.
memory,
Yeah.
like is less megabytes than that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so this story used to fucking kill in high school. I don't know if it will now, but on Thursday nights
in high school.
in high school, I used to invite my football guys over, and we would cook together.
Mm.
We would cook.
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, Omaha Steaks. No,
South
but
Park
we
Try
would
Hard?
cook. We would cook. I remember one time we made a giant batch of brownies.
Nice.
Not really, not with the weed. But I remember one
That's
time
not what I was
mixed
thinking.
we mixed cake-like brownies with fudge-like brownies.
Yeah.
It's too far.
It was awesome. We made brownies. We would make birthday cakes for ourselves.
What does this have to do with the year
This
2000?
football
I-
culture
I-
you never
dictionary.
finished
It's
your
about
Y2K
my neighbor.
story.
It's about my neighbor.
Yeah.
I thought we were done with your neighbor.
Well,
She-
no,
she-
no,
she
no,
wants to
story
wear you
yet.
down like a
Story.
I'm gonna
coat.
wake your ass up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this night I'm like, guys, come on over. We're gonna make the biggest motherfucking pot of spaghetti and meatballs that you've ever had in your life. Not meatballs. I wanted meat chunks. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Just like big hunks, ground beef in there. Okay. So everyone, there's 6 people coming to my house. You got Scott and Matt and Chuck and David,
Of course.
and me. They're all there. There's like 5 guys. So we're like, oh yeah, spaghetti's on time all day at school. Oh, you ready for spaghetti? In football practice, we're running up and down the field. I'm like, oh, this sucks. But David's like, well, we're getting spaghetti after this, right? I'm like, yes, come on over. So all the guys are there cooking spaghetti, and my mom says, guess what?
No spaghetti.
I told Shuri your friends were coming over, and she's cooked dinner for everybody.
That's pretty good. That's not a bad
She
thing.
makes spaghetti.
You got free food.
Shuri was
A horrible cook.
okay. So, in her religious craziness, kinda
Is she
like
kosher?
her kinda. Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
Kosher
Parker.
means first of all, you can't have meat and cheese together.
Okay, gotcha. So we go over
It's
there.
like one of the things.
Craig, are you paying attention to this shit?
I'm reading about the year 2038 problem, which is coming soon.
Okay,
Listen.
cool. We'll go with that
Okay.
next.
So we
I'll
go
be
over to
steady,
Shuri's
yeah.
house, and I'm going up there. I'm like, guys, get ready for this shit, because this lady thought the world was gonna end in Y2K, and I do not know what's gonna happen. Okay,
Right.
so we go in there. Okay, there's Hanukkah candles in the center of the kitchen table.
Was it
eight
Han-
candles lit?
Is it Hanukkah time?
No. It's
It's just
October.
July.
It's October.
Oh my god.
Okay, and so Hanukkah candles are lit. And it's all dark except for the Hanukkah candles. And she's like, "Come on in, boys."
Oh
Did
god.
she slowly take her sleeve off, like her shirt off her sleeve like this?
No, this was
She
not a
had a long-
gangbang of
in
my
your mom's
crazy
skin.
Come on,
Y2K
boys.
neighbor. Okay. Sit up a little bit, Craig.
Yeah, you are slouched.
Can you reframe me, please?
All right, pause the story. Craig wants to slouch.
Yeah. Slouching Craig.
It's what they call him.
There you go. Hey, there's a ball. Perfect.
Nailed it.
Okay, so
Yes.
so we get to her place, right? And there is a Bible. There's a Bible on her table. It's
with
a okay,
Hanukkah
and by Bible I mean it's nothing but a giant phone book full of devotionals.
Okay.
Okay.
And you know, devotionals, it's basically a long speech that you say before a big meal, right? So my friend
that's a
Matt is
prayer,
like,
but
"What's
yeah.
with this shit?" And he throws it on the ground. he flops it on the floor because it's like in front where he would sit, right?
Right.
She sits down and she's like, "Did somebody take my book of devotionals?" It's like really fucking weird because her face is lit by candlelight only, and we're all sitting around, and so we're like, okay. I'm like, it's under your chair, Shuri. And she gives this long speech about the breath of God and stuff. And me and my friends, we just wanted an awesome pot of spaghetti. Do
Right.
you understand? We were talking about this shit all day. This giant, awesome spaghetti. And so she comes up and she starts serving us. And she gives us a long devotional. And my friends know that something weird's happening. And
Yeah,
and
I'd
so
say so.
and so she starts bringing around the food. Okay.
Just out of curiosity,
Uh-huh.
for every person that she served, does she remove a piece of clothing?
No, this is not the major league villain. Okay, so first up is salmon cakes.
She makes salmon
Salmon
cakes.
She made salmon cakes.
Like crab cakes with salmon?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds good.
They were awful. I do
Yeah.
not understand how to describe how awful they were. They were horrible. None of us would eat them.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so you got the first course, right? Salmon cakes. Boom. Tasted awful, okay?
Sure. I can
Next,
imagine. Yeah.
green beans. How you going to mess up
How
green
you,
beans?
yeah, how you fuck up green
Hang
beans?
on, you can eat green beans straight out of the can, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green beans taste abysmal. GameSpot 1.6 out of 10. They are horrible. Okay, so now our salmon
Yeah,
cakes
your
are coming.
appetite's a little,
Okay.
yeah, like.
And she really does have like 4 more courses of food. Okay,
Good
like
God.
4 more courses of food. I remember specifically the last thing was mashed potatoes. Okay,
It's pretty easy food.
okay, mashed potatoes. You get some milk, you get some butter, you get some potatoes.
Maybe some
You
cheese.
mash it up
Yeah,
and you
maybe
heat it up.
cheese, salt and pepper, and you're done. You cannot mess up mashed potatoes. Okay, right now we've all got a full plate mashed
Of
potatoes
stuff you haven't
of
eaten.
stuff we haven't eaten, and we're just first of all we're all pissed because we're not eating spaghetti.
Right.
We're all furious. Second of all this food tastes. Third of all, my coward mom didn't come, so we have to
She
suffer
knew.
this alone
She was
with
like,
the
You know
neighbor.
what's going on.
Please do this for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all of us are just kind of nudging food. Plates full of food. I mean, you know your first plate
Yeah.
that you get at Thanksgiving? Like, that's how much food was it. Last thing, plops mashed potatoes down, okay? And all of my friends are starving. We are fat high school football boys, okay? And so I remember, like, looking around the table in this candlelit setting and being like, it's mashed potatoes. There's one thing on this plate we can all eat. And I remember specifically looking at my friend. His name was Scott P. I'm not gonna say his last name, but he was as blue collared as they come. Like, like 5'10", 180 pounds, but still whoop your ass for some reason. Didn't even look strong or anything.
Yeah.
But I remember him doing this. He takes mashed potatoes. He goes. that face, and then I was like, oh no. And so, like, I go and I'm like, oh, like the peel is still in them and stuff, and like
That's okay
sometimes that's fine,
Yeah.
but there's just something off. It's like she didn't put either milk or butter or potatoes.
She just heated up some potatoes in the microwave and just like
or into these fucking potatoes.
God.
And so I eat it, and then I watch the other four all take a bite and just go, oh.
First of all, what an odd scenario you're in.
Yeah.
Okay, for one, you're at not a stranger's house, but almost a
A
stranger's
stranger
house.
to these,
Yeah,
the other
especially
five,
them.
right?
Like, you're at your neighbor's house. She has no relationship tied to any of these people here.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into a room that's only lit by Hanukkah candles
Yeah,
in the
one
middle of
Hanukkah candle.
October,
And she's
serves-
taking off a piece of clothing. After
Yeah,
every
and
meal.
she's
She's
butt
like,
ass naked.
and it's also Y2K.
Okay. So we've all got full plates, right?
Right.
And so what happens is I get the idea, you know what makes anything good? Ketchup. And so I
That's
just
true.
take her bottle of ketchup and I just do it all over the plate. So over the course of the meal, we're all eating just ketchup soaked Thanksgiving green beans, mashed potatoes, salmon cakes, and whatever the hell else she had on that plate. And I remember she's like, man, you boys sure like ketchup. And we're all laughing at each other because,
it's the only
lady,
way
your
it's
food tastes
edible.
like dog shit. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so after that,
There's more.
she comes up, she says, that was awesome. Who's up for some poppy seed muffins for dessert? And I know that she uses drugs. She used drugs. I know that she used for medicinal purposes.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'm young. I'm like 16, 17. I'm like, is there opium in these poppy seeds? I was like, and I remember thinking like, oh my God, we're gonna get drug tested at school tomorrow because I was so paranoid
Yeah.
because I thought these poppy seed
Poppy
muffins.
seed shows up as weed or opium or
I
something.
don't know.
It shows
Well,
up
we
as
eat the
something.
poppy seed muffins and they're fine. I think she got them from Albertsons or something. And after that, she wanted to play a game of Boggle.
Is that what they call it?
Is that what they called it back in your day?
Hey,
She pulled.
you want to play some Boggle?
Is that
So
you
she,
taking off?
she pulls out the boggle.
It's strip boggle.
Yeah.
She pulls out the boggle. And we all played a game. I actually picked out the word jizz
Nice.
in boggle. Jizz.
Perfect.
I picked out the word jizz in boggle.
It's a
With
discipline.
the religious old lady.
And with a religious lady.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a jab at her almost, even though like she was just being sweet and cooking for these boys.
Yeah.
And I was almost just like, God, just fucking spaghetti. I took it out on her by putting jizz in the word boggle. You understand? I wanted spaghetti. And so like to get back at her, I was a selfish young man. I shouldn't have done this. She was just cooking for these boys, trying to make the best of it. And I put the word jizz in there. Just kind of jab at her.
But I was like, what a weird scenario. Because none of my neighbors would cook for me and my friends. That just seems odd
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably spent $50 spending on all the food for you guys.
Salmon ain't
50,
cheap.
Yeah, salmon ain't cheap.
$50, $70, whatever it is, for you guys, and you get you little sons of bitches over here being disrespectful.
mean, you can't help if it
writing
tastes
jizz on
awful.
Boggle.
I used to do like farm work for her and stuff, and and she'd pay me like $5 an hour to do the most intense, like remove these T-posts, like dig them out, like stuff your dad does, like for a morning workout, like. but I'm just like, like trying to pull it off,
like-
and she's like, I think I'm gonna boil us some water and have some lemons and lime inside. What do you think about that? And she was like, would you like some poached squash? And I'm like, what?
What a weird person.
I know. She would boil squash and would eat fresh vegetables with lemon and lime water. And she'd be like,
All right.
I tell you what, son, there's nothing better than some lemon and lime water after a hard day's work. and I'm just drenched in sweat, and I'm just like, like you're right. I guess the story's really not that fascinating.
Okay, what
I'm
does this
sorry,
do with
Will.
it's
Y2K?
weird, though.
It's a good
That
story.
was just the other story involving his neighbor.
We never finished the other one.
No, that's
We
good.
Yeah, the other
Y2K?
one. The other one was just like she got my parents into it, and then the Chinese New Year came, and I was like, Mom, I don't think this is happening.
Got your parents into what?
Huh?
Y2K?
Into
Y2K.
Y2K,
Oh,
and we
I
had
was
like a
gonna say
ton of
boggle.
canned foods.
You know
did you stock up on canned goods? No.
Do you stock up now, just in case?
Are you going to stock up for the 2038 one?
2038.
What's with the
Yeah, what's
2038 one?
2038?
I'll tell you guys in just a second. But first, I want to let you know that this episode of the Try Hard Podcast is brought to you by our friends at Dollar Shave Club. Listen, Dollar Shave Club has been there for us since the beginning.
Oh, man.
Since Try Hard Episode 1, Dollar
good.
Shave Club has been here. Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to get ready in the bathroom. Any particular product you have fallen in love with, listen, it's awesome. Whether it's razor, whether it's a shave butter.
Did you say shave butter?
I sure did.
Oh,
The
shit.
conditioner, the body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, it's all right there. They make everything. In the business world, we call that scaling. They did razors. Now they did everything else. It's awesome, and it's all really, really good stuff. We're big fans of Dollar Shave Club. Their amber and lavender calming body cleanser. Oof, never smelled anything like that before. I'll tell you what. It is
Now,
delicious.
that's good.
And all of Dollar Shave Club's products are made with top shelf ingredients that won't break your budget. You'll feel the difference. Plus, shipping is included with your membership. So, once again, go to dollarshaveclub.com, and for $5, you get the Daily Essential Starter Set. It comes with the body cleanser, One Wipe Charlie's. They're amazing butt wipes. Their world famous shave butter, their best razor, the 6-blade executive. Keep the blades coming for only a few bucks more a month, and add shampoo, toothpaste, and anything else you need in the bathroom. Check it all out at dollarshaveclub.com, dollarshaveclub.com/tryhard. That's dollarshaveclub.com/tryhard. There's no reason not to join. Get yours once again at dollarshaveclub.com/tryhard. Thanks so much to Dollar Shave Club for being there since episode 1. They support us, so please support them. Okay,
What's 2038?
the year 2038 problem. There was a year 2010 problem too, by the way.
What was that?
Some
Well, besides
problems
the
had
housing market.
some systems had problems once they rolled over to year 2010. This was dubbed as the media as Y2K plus 10, which I never even heard of.
Nah, I didn't
before.
either.
I mean, either.
What about 2012?
All right,
Huh?
The,
End of the world.
2038.
Yeah.
Okay. The original Unix time database stores a date and a time as a signed log integer, representing the number of seconds since January 1st, 1970. During and after 2038, the number will exceed the largest number representable by a signed long integer on a 32-bit system, causing the year 2038 problem.
Right.
So we have to go 64-bit.
Who still uses a 32-bit system?
Listen, as long as the integer in 64-bit system uses 64, the problem does not realistically
Okay.
exist on 64-bit.
So
We're
if your
good.
computer is 30 years old,
Yeah.
like you might experience like an error, like the Windows error in the bottom right corner, that little
We-
talk bubble, but like you ain't gonna have any.
What does
problems.
32-bit mean? I don't know what the difference between 32-bit and 64-bit means.
It's like your system data capacity, isn't
Mhm.
it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I always get asked that for games. Like, what kind of system do you run it off of? A 32 or 64? I say 64, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
The higher is better.
Yeah, higher's better,
Yeah, it's
right?
higher is
Yeah.
good.
You're
Always.
good.
So we were talking about Pokemon earlier.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, I don't know if you guys heard about this. There was a game that was going to be released in June called
Okay.
Active Shooter. Have you heard about this thing?
Is it
No, that
about-
sounds horrible though.
Yes.
Yeah, is it like hatred?
Have you guys not heard about this at all?
No.
I have.
Okay, so there was a Russian developer called I don't even know what they're called. They're working on a game called Active Shooter, and the thought process that you go into a school
So it is
Oh.
like hatred.
and you are an active shooter.
Okay.
There are no children in the school.
They're adults?
It's adults, it's teachers and stuff, and you play as either the active shooter or a SWAT person.
okay.
And your job is to it's essentially a cat and mouse game, right?
Sure.
And Steam pulled it. Steam
Yeah.
pulled the game.
Yeah, I can imagine
yesterday.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it caught a lot of slack yesterday, and the ESA issued a statement like just saying good job Steam, pretty
Oh,
much. And
is it
but
out?
to be fair, like,
no, it comes out, it was set to come out June 6th. Yeah.
like they have a right to make the game even if people don't support it.
Well, and I think that's one of the things. It kind of comes down to like So do you know what Kurt Schilling is?
I mean, it probably just
No.
violates Steam's terms of service.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
Steam doesn't have to promote
Yeah,
it, but
they can
like
still
they
post
can
it.
still make the game.
Yeah,
Well, they can control what's on and off their platform, no problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's like the adults only thing. I mean, there hasn't, like, neither Sony nor Microsoft has ever released an adults only game, from what I understand, just
No, I don't
because.
think so.
I mean, Steam had House Party, but then they had to tone it down if they wanted to stay on Steam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, they announced it and it got a lot of slack and a lot of people. Their FAQ about the game was like, "Look, this is a video game. It doesn't condone what people do,
Yeah,
but I think
right.
it's one of those things where it's at the spotlight on this. It puts a spotlight and it almost glorifies the idea, right? But then again, it's one of those things where if you were to look at it and you were to look at Rainbow Six, like if you were to look at the other side of it and go, okay, well, Rainbow Six has a bunch of terrorists, right? And you only play as this.
Counter-Strike. Yeah.
Yeah, you only play as this team, the good guys. You don't play as the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know, this just offers you the opportunity to play as the bad guys, which,
You play as Nazis in Call of Duty.
Yeah, and you can play as terrorists in Counter Strike. So.
And in Siege.
yeah, so like, and really, it's just like in a really fucked up kind of way, it's just, I think, had this been released 20 years ago, you know?
mean,
like, well, it probably would have been sensitive there, but it just, mainly because it's so sensitive today with everything that's going on.
yeah.
I mean, it's also children versus like.
No, it's
something
not.
like-
It's
I mean,
not. It's
no
teachers.
children.
it's still taking place in a school that's
Yes.
presumably full of children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Siege, you're not like having a siege in a daycare center.
Yeah.
You're having.
I mean,
That'd be pretty funny though.
in Silent Hill, you kill kids in a school. I mean, it's a haunted school, and all the kids are demonized,
Demons,
but they're
yeah.
little kids, and they attack you with kitchen knives, and you will bash their heads in with poles and knives, and shoot them with pistols and stuff.
yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
That's also prompted though. They're taken over by demons.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas you're coming in here to murder innocent people.
yeah. But with active shooter, it is kind of like the second I hear it, I'm like, fuck that, you know.
But like, how do you justify?
But you are kind of right, I guess.
How do you
Like,
justify saying fuck that to like active shooter when like I kill tons of people on GTA?
yeah.
Like I roll over people with steam trucks and I don't feel anything
You're
about
right.
it.
You're right. I think
Yeah.
it's just a matter of like,
But-
it's
And the
it's
game's not
very
based around
sensitive.
that.
GTA
obviously.
also doesn't have any kind of pets or children in it. If you haven't noticed.
It does have.
I mean,
pets
I
and
bet.
children.
I
Does
bet
not.
Yeah,
if
it has
active scooter,
plenty pets.
active
cats,
scooter,
dogs.
active
You
scooter.
shoot them, kill them.
GTA? No.
Monkeys.
what-
Yeah. Play it
What if
again.
active shooter was set in a shopping mall or a coffee shop?
I think it's just the term active shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a
Right.
good name for a game.
It's a horrible. Well, it really you know exactly
It makes
what
you
it's
want
about.
to click on it, but it's like you know what it is, and
Yeah.
you don't.
And with the market on Steam the way it is today, like there's gonna be shit devs that just try to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
weird.
it's a shock value thing for sure.
Mhm.
But I think it was pulled, but I feel like that's dangerous
To pull it.
to pull it, right? I think that people and you're right. If it violates its terms of service, I get it, right? But what makes it different than Counter-Strike?
Your GTA.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or any game that involves a gun shooting other people.
Now, if
Right.
you were shooting kids, it's like okay,
Yeah, agreed.
like but if it's that's why there's no children in Grand Theft Auto. You know,
I mean,
what
there's
I mean?
kids in like the cutscenes sometimes, but maybe not in Overworld. In the story of GTA 5, there's kids in cutscenes.
Are there?
Yeah.
We looked at that game called Kindergarten a little while ago, but that's kids killing kids.
Yeah, I
teachers
mean,
killing kids.
yeah, that's teachers
Yeah.
killing kids and everything. Do you remember that kindergarten game?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was that game we popped in, we wanted to play, and then we played it for 5 seconds. We're like, fuck this game. We don't. wanna
Yeah,
play
yeah,
this.
Yeah,
So-
but that was different because the kids were dying. There was like bloody kids all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Active
like
shooter, if it doesn't have
doing
kids,
drugs.
yeah, the kids were like doing drugs.
I mean,
and
it's
stuff.
still not good. but-
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so the game's been totally removed from Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just here's a CNN article about it, which, you know, it is what it is. Much criticized video game that will let players shoot up a school has been pulled from the digital storefront just days before its release. PC game Active Shooter was set to be released on June 6th on Steam. Video game, blah, blah, blah. News of the game's release had sparked widespread outrage among students and parents at the Florida school, Parkland School, where 17 people died from a shooting in February. It makes sense. It's a very sensitive situation right now. So marketing materials for the game promised to let players choose between portraying a SWAT team member, responding to a shooting, or portraying an actual shooter whose objective was to, quote, hurt and destroy. I think if they were to release this with just the SWAT aspect of it,
Might work on Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if there's like different situations, like a mall or like an airport scenario, like
Where it's like find the killer before he attacks. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be.
I can totally
yeah.
see that happening. But
yeah.
But just the fact that it's a school, a building full of kids.
But it's not kids.
it's just adults.
It's just
yeah,
I mean, you don't
need,
see
you need to
the
get past the
kids, but,
school.
like-
No, there's no kids in the game
There's
at
no
all.
kids at all.
Period.
I know there's no like models or anything, but like presumably you're standing in an elementary school.
Okay, well, what if they say it's college?
Yeah.
They're adults, whatever. But I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's school it's slippery, but I don't know. It's one of those things where like if you just remove that aspect of it, and once again, I'm not championing the idea of this game mode, but I think that it's
I think you're championing like a little bit of reflection as gamers, as like what do we consider is okay if we're running people over in Grand Theft Auto? and,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
laughing at how funny it is.
I mean, really, yeah. Like, dude, there are things out there that make me sick when it comes to video games, like that Hatred game, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what the fuck? But I watched John
Hatred-
Wick and he stabs a guy through the fucking throat,
Right.
like, and it's a real person.
Yeah.
It looks like a real person. I'm like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the
Like pulling a guy by the beard and stabbing him in the head and stuff.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like, oh wow.
yeah, like it's one of those things where there's certain things that you look at, and everybody's a hypocrite. Everybody
Yeah.
is when it comes to this
I
stuff.
think you have to understand context, and there's just a feeling that you have inside, I guess. When you
Whether it
go-
feels right or not. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Hatred isn't any different than a lot of games.
Hatred's
But-
dumb though. I played Hatred,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just a dumb game.
Yeah.
Like,
but Hatred, it doesn't. Like Postal is just like Hatred.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you fucking murder people.
yeah.
But in Postal, like you pee on people and stuff.
So it's a little bit more cartoony.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but Hatred is like, oh wow, this is like the mind of a horrible person,
Right.
and it's really brutal and foreboding, and you just feel dirty playing.
And well, they set you out as the villain from the beginning. You have no option in that game to not kill people.
So,
Because the cops
Yeah.
immediately come for you.
real
like,
quick, I'm looking
before
at the
you start.
trailer here.
for
And
the
for
game.
active shooter, and I know
Yeah.
I don't have this pulled up, but there is a. It looks like you start as a member of the SWAT team.
Uh-huh.
At least that's what it's looking like. So
Well, it's probably the trailer's probably from that point of view. I'm sure that you have both options.
yeah, I don't I guess.
I think the game's fine. It's something I probably wouldn't play, but I don't think you should limit them from making it just because
yeah,
you
if
don't
anything,
agree
like,
with it.
Just
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like just release it and then let the community
Well,
hate it if it's bad like that, you know?
and it's one of those things where as a let's say we were to stream it,
Mhm.
right? Like it just doesn't look good to
Yeah.
play that.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it's not. Once again, it comes down to let's say we were to play it, or it's released, and some kid plays it, and he's like, "Yo, I could do this."
Isn't it
You
the
know?
opposite?
And I think
though?
that's the idea. Is and that's once again goes back to the scary aspect of, are you censoring the idea of putting this out there? You know, like because guys, that's like the thing that I'm hearing all the time is like, well, the media is. God, I can't believe we're back on guns and shootings.
Yeah, Jack Thompson.
But the media as a whole is like in America treats these like as big events. Like, hey, this guy got 10, this guy got 13, this guy got 17,
Right,
and it's
yeah.
like there's a kill count, you know,
Yeah.
and it's almost like they're almost glorified a little bit, you know, these school shootings,
I-
and
Is the debate on video games whether it's like video games are an inspiration versus video games are an outlet for anger?
I don't know, like it
Because like some games like
I treat it like an outlet.
like
for
those
sure.
those games could be helpful to people that might actually want to
Yeah.
shoot up a school,
But
whereas people might think of it as being inspiration for doing that.
my first year of college, I wrote a paper about Columbine and video games having an effect on Harris and Klebold before they shot up Columbine.
Yeah.
And in my research, I found that they had modded Doom to resemble the floor plan of Columbine,
Right,
the
Mhm.
cafeteria
yeah.
and
Mhm.
stuff. And like I went in writing that paper, like that's fucking stupid. And then I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
what's that they
That they use Doom as a tool
Yeah.
for
To,
like a
to
3D
out
map.
yeah to map it
oh
out.
sure
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, you look at China, who's got, like, just look at the fucking numbers. Like, China spends as much on video games as we do.
and they don't kill anybody.
Nope.
They also
Whatever.
censor their content a lot more.
It is what it is. I'm not. We don't want to get into guns anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys want to talk about Fallout?
Are we doing
Yes.
that on Try Harder, or do you want to do that here?
Sure.
Let's talk about it. Because I'll tell you, if you want to hold on to Fallout for that week, I'd love to talk about something else.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm sure you guys heard about the 30-year-old guy who got kicked
Evicted?
out. Got kicked out of his parents' house.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, the news loves calling that guy a millennial. So
Yeah.
Did
I
you guys,
did not
Did you hear about this?
No.
Oh,
Well, he is.
I don't watch.
I mean,
the
he's
news.
he's in the
but
bracket.
Like,
Yeah.
like I was offended by the way the news portrayed this guy.
Yeah.
And, well,
This millennial
he
is
was like, this millennial acts like all millennials and is a millennial. Like that's how I was reading headlines, and I was just like, I just want to be like, bitch, I was working since I was 16. I moved out of the house when I was like 17.
Yeah.
I've been on my fucking own ever since. I'm a millennial, and I work my fucking ass off. Like
I just to put
I
it.
hate that.
What happened?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you hear about this at all?
Yes,
Chase?
I know all about it.
Okay. Well, then catch us up. What? Tell us about it.
Kid lived or
30-year-old.
He is 30. Lives at his parents' house
Okay.
for like ever, and he
Right, like plenty of people do.
and
yeah.
he says, "I don't want to work because I don't need to work."
Are you kidding me? You do know that most people are like staying with their parents.
There's
till, like,
tons of
28
people
years
that
old
do
now.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That
I don't
This goes
support
back
it.
to the millennial thing,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like,
it also goes back to like houses don't cost $25,000.
Yeah,
like they
rent
did in
it-
1960.
rent is
it depends where you
$1,200 a
live.
month, and
Depends
people
where you
make
live.
10 an hour.
Yeah.
Depends where you live.
No,
But-
but he wasn't like, I'm trying to save up for a house or something. He was like,
Right.
I'm not gonna work
Yeah, he's a
because
big
they're gonna
baby.
support me. It's my
Yeah.
family. They're gonna do it.
Which there are other people like that. So what made this newsworthy?
he had been tried. His parents had tried to. They wrote
Like, go.
5 different eviction notices to him.
Oh,
They
You
tried to
just
kick him
arrest
out
him, yeah.
several times, so they eventually took him to court.
yeah.
His side, I don't know the details on this, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just assuming, which you can
Mhm.
assume and tell me I'm a fuckface all you want.
Sure.
But he had a kid. He lost his kid,
Okay.
right?
Lost his kid to court, or the kid
Lost his
is
kid to court,
Gotcha.
which to me says there's something wrong.
with
in-
either
within the
him or
situation,
financial
right?
situation.
Yeah. There's you don't just lose your kid.
Right.
You know, you don't just lose access to your
Did
child.
he, I mean, did he lose it to the other parent?
I don't know.
I'd
Okay.
assumingly.
Either way,
Okay.
yeah, assuming he
Yeah.
did, yeah. So he had a kid, and he kind of plays that. He's like, well, I had a kid, right? And that's the thing. When I see his interviews, he's like, I had this kid, and I got to take it away from me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say he's a depressed and stuff like that. And I get it, right? But at a certain point, like
You can't demand that people pay for your life.
exactly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
that's the thing is like they're my parents. They have to.
the thought process was that he's very entitled. He's entitled to
An
this.
entitled millennial.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, he plays to that. I mean, it's when you hear him speak, he's not smart. He's not like
Yeah.
he's not a
So-
smart guy. That when you,
Actually, this week he's actually recently I learned he's a very conservative person. He was on Alex Jones' Infowars,
Nice.
and it's like
he was
that
on
seems like the perfect show for him.
he was on Infowars. He was on CNN. He made the rounds, right?
Yeah.
I think H3. What's it,
H3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they offered to pay him money to come on the show and
Nice.
stuff. So I'm
Nice.
sure he'll go on as well. But
Yeah.
it was interesting to see kind of the reaction to that. And
Because I know plenty of situations like that exist, but a lot of times it's the parents that they keep supporting their kid. Like no matter, like it's not like this situation where they're like, get the fuck out of my house. It's like, oh yeah, honey, like yeah, you can stay here as long as you want, and they're like 40 years old.
I think that's one of those things where it goes back to, for me personally, you go, well, it's not $25,000 for a house anymore, right? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But at the same time, it's not manageable.
You can
It's,
do it.
You could
Yeah.
well, if you have one job,
Mhm.
you can do it. If
Yeah.
you have 2 jobs, if you have a full and a part-time job, you can do it. I hate to break it to people, but that's just how people lived previously. It doesn't mean like there were times where if you had your passion job, you would have that passion job, and then you'd go wait tables to support your passion job. You know,
But
it
there
happens
were
all
times-
the time.
There were times before that where one full-time job could support a whole like family of 5.
Sure, yes,
like-
in the 50s.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations.
50s, yeah,
but there have been
but-
how many generations since then?
Right.
You know, like it's one of those things where I think there absolutely is truth to and this is just coming from an employer standpoint. I think there is certainly a level of entitlement, and there's a level of I guess I think entitlement's probably the right word, of things that they feel are deserved, and it's not. I wouldn't say 30. I would say mid 20s, early 20s, in teens for sure. I mean, teenagers act that way regardless of if they're a millennial or not.
Yeah, I think all
but
teenagers
but
are
I
a
but I
little
think
bit
I think
entitled.
there certainly is in the younger generation coming up, in their 20s, and certainly like, well, you know, this thought of entitlement, and I deserve this and I deserve this, even though I haven't worked to get it. You know,
guess,
that's just
yeah.
me. You know, and I realize I'm talking to.
That's why I was like, I don't
Yeah.
feel that way, but sure.
Well, of course, and that's just
Yeah.
it. You don't feel that way,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying you in particular. I'm just saying
yeah,
like
I know.
most who feel that way don't feel that way.
Mhm.
You know, don't feel that they feel that way, but whatever. It's just
People,
Mm.
younger people now think you get your dream job when you're 20, and then you work at it for 50 years.
no, they don't.
No, it's
They
the
work at it
opposite.
for
It's the
10
complete
years
opposite.
and then they retire
It's-
for
Well,
like a
well,
third.
well,
It's
no,
the-
no, they
Yeah.
no, you're missing my point. I'm saying they don't think that you work a regular job first. They think that their first job is
Gonna be
supposed
what
to
they want. Yeah.
well,
their
sure.
forever
They want to
choices.
walk into a well-paying job. They want to walk in making six figures right out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen. They want to walk. They want to, and if they're not making what they want, they'll stay at a job for 18 months to 2 years, and then barter or leave to go try to find another job. So like, there's no consistency with and allowing them to move up, where long term it would benefit them greater to stay in a single place, potentially. It just kind of comes down to individual scenarios, right? But
I think that the more well off the parents, the longer the kid's gonna stay with them.
Yeah.
I think if the kid if there's nothing there,
It's
the kid will leave.
it's like, why would I like I
Oh fuck
Oh.
me!
You
have not been
God
talking.
Damn it!
no I like
God fucking.
and
damn
that makes
it.
a lot of
That's great.
sense. It's like,
Probably
why would
the
I
whole
go
fucking
move
show.
off?
Yeah.
Like, even though I'd have my own space, but like I'd be living in poverty. Why would I leave?
Yeah. I mean, you saw
It's-
Step
it's-
Brothers. Will Ferrell.
What I was looking
yeah,
up
and
a
it's
second
laughable.
ago.
It's a comedy.
Right, of course.
It's
but
a-
yeah,
but
But
I'm
except for
sa-
they're 40, and it's
yeah,
like
they're but like that exists.
This guy,
like,
this
in
guy
the
would have
world.
been. This guy would
Yeah.
have been 40.
Yeah.
Like,
What I was looking up was a quote by that guy, because I remember seeing this really awkward interview that he gave to CNN, I believe.
Mhm.
And they were talking about something about like him being a millennial, and it's like, how do you feel about like him like referring to you as like the stereotypical millennial, or something like that? And he's like, he went very off on liberals.
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, no, I identify as a hard conservative, therefore I don't identify as a millennial. That's like what you call
Right.
liberals.
Yeah.
And
It was like there's conservative and
Oh,
liberal
God.
millennials.
and,
Like,
it was, and the host was just kind of took aback by what he said. They were like, okay.
So an update on it. He says he's going to move everything into a self-storage unit and then look for a place.
Ah.
He's going to move all his swords.
Is that his place?
His
He's gonna live in that
swords.
unit?
His swords. His ninja swords. Ninja swords and
move all
comic
his
books. And his pet
hold on,
lizard.
Parker.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to show you a picture of this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh
he,
yeah, look at
He does. He does.
Guys,
look
Does
like,
he look like he belongs in his parents' basement?
He does.
the guy on the right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, that sucks.
It's so fucking.
Yeah.
God.
It's like when you think of a
God.
guy who owns swords, that's the picture.
I'm sorry if
Yeah.
my mic was unplugged G1s.
That's
Let's
rough.
hope.
Probably not for
most
very
of the
long.
show.
Well, we'll see.
Probably during the entire Sherry story.
All right. Well, you guys hopefully enjoyed it. Thanks so much to our sponsors once again, Omaha Steaks. Please take advantage of that deal, as well as Dollar
might.
Shave Club. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
So, you guys, thanks so much for your support. Once again, please check out the show on iTunes if you have not already, and make sure it's a recurring thing. It shows up on your iTunes as soon as it's available. So, have a great week, guys. We'll see you guys next week for Try Hard number 80. What?
85.
There we
Oh
go.
my
85
God.
next week.
Go
Guys,
by.
thank you so much. See ya.
Mr. Ball.